Good evening again, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode. James is actually stuck in traffic, but is going to be joining us very shortly. So, tonight we're going to have another interesting guest where we're going to be talking about blockchain education and Web3. But before we do that, let me give you a brief introduction about our guest. So our guest is the CEO of Althash University, but he also has a lot of other things that he brings to the table. So for example, Amando Boncales, who's our guest for tonight, he is a pioneer in blockchain education, having equipped over 8,000 professionals for the Web3 economy through nano degree and micro credential programs offered at Althash University and HTML Coin, where he serves as the CEO. He is very passionate about the future of Web3 and he advocates for accessible education to cultivate an innovative workforce. So, without further ado, I'd like to bring on board Amando Boncales. Now, I apologize, you won't be able to see him on video because he's having some connection problems, but at least you'll be able to hear him. So, please welcome our guest, Amando Boncales.
Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning from Chicago. It's cold today and excited to be here.
Well, great, Amando. So I'm sure there are a lot of questions from the audience. So wag na natin patagalin pa. Let's
Mm.
start. What would you say, given your focus on education, what would you say is the outlook for blockchain?
Oh, the outlook for blockchain is bright and expansive. Blockchain as an industry has been adapted worldwide, and it has already been used, especially in the digital space, in the cryptocurrency, in financial technology. But with the advent of the fourth industrial revolution, that is Web3, because in the Web3, we are projecting that blockchain will be used to secure transactions, then the blockchain technology itself will become even more relevant. And because of the advent of Web3, we need Web3 professionals. So we have to train people to man this expanding industry. So we have to rescale people and upscale people in order for us to respond these challenges, not just in the Philippines, but all over the world. We are in the advent of the fourth industrial revolution. Blockchain technology is part of it. And when I say blockchain technology is not isolated in blockchain. So blockchain, the use of blockchain technology in practice is Web3 in the web space, and also in the web3 space there is an interaction in artificial intelligence. So pag sinabi mong blockchain is not a monolithic thing, but blockchain will interact with artificial intelligence in the web3 space. So
That's
it's
true
very
because
bright.
I
Yeah.
yeah, because you as you pointed out, it's a technology, no? So certainly the idea of a technology is it's not static. So what let's say blockchain as we know it today is certainly much more robust than what blockchain was maybe 3, 5 years ago. So
Correct.
as the technology continues to evolve, I agree with you. Definitely, it will find its way into many other fields like Web3, AI. There's going to be an interplay for all of these components. Which
Right.
which which brings me to my next point, though. Clearly,
Mhm.
not all sectors are created equal. So, are
Mm.
there specific sectors where you would expect to see greater demand in terms of, let's say, blockchain, Web3 education?
um, Block 3 and Web3 education. So first is, as you see, the most practical and show and tell application right now in blockchain is the cryptocurrencies. And when you go to cryptocurrencies, you will see that remittances use it as a mode of payment. but you can also see it as, tokenized version in the field of gaming. So you use these cryptocurrencies, the tokens and the coins, to reward people paying online. So people are interacting online as if it is happening in the real world. And this is where the domain of the fourth industrial revolution, because the principle behind fourth industrial revolution is the line between reality and virtual interacting, the physical world automation become blurred. So people now is acting in the metaverse as if it is in the real world, as if they are living in the real world, but happening in the virtual space. So you can see that there is a greater demand of transaction happening there, and we need to have professionals uh, who can man this new environment. When I say professionals, it's big, but you can see, marketers are there, traders are there, um, uh, not to mention the engineers building the application itself. So people are involved now. This is not like 3 years or 4 years ago where we're projecting that this will happen. It is happening right now, and a lot of people needs to be trained in the blockchain space, in the Web3 space. Training would mean continuing education for those already who have made advances in the blockchain education, or meaning that you should enroll yourself online, like what we are offering in Althash University and Coursera, and in order to upscale and rescale yourself. Because no, because if you don't, if you don't, you will become irrelevant. So people in the digital space, regardless in cryptocurrencies, not regardless, but not just cryptocurrency, but in gaming, where cryptocurrency is heavily used. So these are the sectors that are adapting. Um, Another trend that is I see, yeah, during the defend of research, capstone research in Altas University, is in healthcare industry and governance. So no matter what the industry will be adapting, the principle here in the principle stays remain, that the element of transparency, security, and efficiency as features of blockchain technology will be the one that is the selling point why this industries is adapting.
That's very true. In fact, well, before anything else, a shout out to the resistance trader who's also just joined us. But
Oh.
going back to your point, Amando, in fact, that's why one of the things we regularly tell our followers is the technology is going to happen with or without you. So you
Mhm,
basically have two choices. Do you want to be left behind, or
mhm.
do you want to learn about the technology so that you can move ahead with the technology?
That's correct. And in order for this, because sometimes people are uh, they become lost because it is too abstract. Sabi technology, if you don't learn the technology, you will become irrelevant. With or without you, the technology will be here in various forms, not just in blockchain, but blockchain interaction with machine learning, with artificial intelligence, and blockchain as manifested in the Web3 ecosystem. So sa web space, maraming mga applications na mag-develop dyan, and it is still developing na. In 2 to 3 years, i-expand na yan. Now, in order to remove the abstract part, sasabihin natin, especially sa Pilipinas, I know that we will discuss this in another session. Sa Pilipinas, malaki ang BPO, business processing outsourcing, something like that. And 1.7 million people are employed in this sector. So if these people will not embrace blockchain technology as it relates to artificial intelligence, as blockchain is expressed in Web3, mga application ng blockchain sa Web3 space, a lot of these people in this sector will lose their job if they don't embrace. So because they become irrelevant, because those
Hmm.
assisting common common customer service needs can be done by artificial intelligence. And then, ano ba ang role ng blockchain doon? Blockchain will make sure that the data processed are genuine, that the person talking to that person is the person who intends to be true, or yung identity ng person. So blockchain will be there as the bedrock, and artificial intelligence will do the repetitive task. Right now, it's the human doing the repetitive task. But in the next 5 year, marami dyan sa business outsourcing mawawalan ng trabaho if they don't upgrade themselves. Kasi upgrading would mean they should have analytical skills, because those analytical skills, problem solving, will be assigned to human beings, but the basic mundane task of assisting step by step onboarding process doon sa customer service will be done by artificial intelligence with the help of blockchain. So very crucial, especially sa Pilipinas. Kasi 50% in the next 5 years, 50% mawawala ng trabaho if they don't upgrade themselves. So blockchain education and Web3 is important right now. They have to equip right now, or else they will get lost and become irrelevant. So what Museigen is doing right now is very timely. What Althash University is doing right now is very timely, educating people so that by the next 5 years, they have job security.
Right.
A lot
Now,
of
you,
people will lose the job.
now you make reference to the role of AI in blockchain,
Mm,
and you also make reference to how it impacts the BPO sector. But
mm.
would it be correct to say that the role of AI will primarily be on the more repetitive tasks? So the challenge there is you let's say as a worker in the BPO sector, you have to kumbaga move up the value chain and go to the high value added components of a BPO sector position.
Correct. Yeah, and I think we have the word for that. They call it upscaling. So not just you do the repetitive task, but learn artificial intelligence such as large language model. You should learn large language model in order to give commands, basic commands, natural language commands to produce output. For example, sa marketing, no, sa marketing. So, ngayon, a lot of people lost their job in digital marketing because creating those posters, creating those verbiage is not done by human, it's done by artificial intelligence, large language model. So, most of the people in marketing lost their job because of that. So, you see, that is a concrete example, um, where people have been lost their job. So the same thing with BPO. The same thing with BPO. Yeah, they have to. They need to attend meeting. They have to attend webinar like this one, so that they update themselves on what to do next. Uh, because the technology is moving fast, so skills needed to operate this technology is also evolving fast. So um, conferences, web shows, what we're doing is very important to educate the people to upgrade themselves and to be updated always.
Hi, Amando. I
Hi!
I have a follow-up question with
I
regards
have
to
a
that.
follow up. Go ahead. Go ahead, James.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, sorry. Very quick lang kasi Amando is talking about the quick emergence of these technologies, so-called new technologies. And I just wanted to know, in terms of regulatory, both in the Philippines, in the abroad, and particularly where Amanda is right now sa America, sa United States. How is it going when it comes to educating people regarding this particular topics that blockchain, AI? Is there some sort of educational tinatawag natin na regulation for such kind of materials?
Yes, in terms of legal regulations or mandate from the government, governments all over the world already emitted regulations. Just recently, about a month ago, the U.S. government from the office of the president issued a I think executive memo on how to regulate artificial intelligence. And Bongbong Marcos, our president from the Philippines, talked about it yesterday here at in San Francisco that they have already some guidelines on artificial intelligence and emerging technologies. So these guidelines emitted by the government can be used as material to create curriculum for our student to learn these guidelines or template that the government want to go, what direction they want to be. So these guidelines can be our material as a source of a learning material for our student. Our student meaning Althash University and Museigen, we are training people, and we have basically cross-pollinating faculty members, teaching courses on blockchain technology, stable coins, and other fields related fields. So yeah, materials emitted by government officials can be used as a learning source.
Thank you, Amanda, for that answer. But apparently, what I'm asking is, how about, for example, the Department of Education from the countries? How are they faring with such kind of materials?
um Usually government agencies are very slow to adapt. It's not just Philippines but all over the world, because the common reason is um, they don't have the manpower to do it, or they don't have the expertise. That's why we suggest that when they develop their curriculum is just a fancy way of things to be taught, no? When they develop their workshop to upgrade faculty members or teachers about this new development and guideline, they should partner with private sector who are doing startup like us, like Althash University and Museigen, especially dyan sa Pilipinas. Museigen, they should partner with you because you guys have the insight. You've been in the field, you're practicing what you preach, you practice. So, you know, you are in the forefront of the technology. So they can get best practices from you. They can learn from you on how to approach such thing. You may not have way as an innovate a startup. We may not have all the answers, but we have the best practices, insights that we gain while doing it. So this should partner with us so that we can give lectures, and then teachers, people in education can create curriculum out from those practices that we already are doing. So yeah, these people, because mahihirapan sila because they don't have expert. There is no such degree as mass. For example, master, we have a degree on Master of Science in Blockchain in Nicosia and certification, but it will take time to produce people with certificates. Kayo, you're teaching already. And some of you, especially ikaw, James, you already have a collegiate of science in blockchain studies. So they should partner with you. And in fact, you've written a book. And same with Fermin, extensive experience in lecturing about ano ba yung sa bank,
Well,
CBDC, CBDC.
CBDC,
Yes.
decentralized finance.
Yes. So you guys are experts on the field. So and, these sectors, the government sector, especially the sector of education, tertiary, secondary, and also doon sa K to 12, should partner in a sense that workshop on, an hour workshop online or physical on what is blockchain, on what is CBDC, what are the other emerging technologies or insights, so that this new fresh knowledge can be disseminated doon sa mga estudyante. As simple as that. I'm
I
sure
have
you
a, I've
even
got a
partner
follow.
local government. Mhm.
Hmm.
Sige, go ahead.
I I have a follow up question to that, Amando. Given that we are going to increasingly see technologies like AI, Web3, all of these technologies will increasingly become integrated.
Mhm.
So what would you expect, since you made reference to the BPO sector earlier?
Mm.
What sort of transformations would you expect to see in the BPO industry as a result of the integration of these new technologies?
As a result, I've touched some answers before. As a result is if people do not upgrade themselves, a lot of people will lose job. Um, but the BPO, the outsourcing, yung mga mundane tasks of onboarding people will be replaced by artificial intelligence. So yung mga yung mga doing those mundane tasks will lose their job. So those are kind of things that micro changes that will impact business outsourcing. Marami, teka muna ha, marami. So maraming madidisrupt ang banking and finance. Banking sector is ripe for disruption with blockchain offering solutions for secure, transparent, efficient transaction, cross-border payment. We're familiar with this. Sa supply chain and logistic, blockchain can revolutionize supply chain management by providing real tamper-proof tracking goods from production to delivery. So these are the bedrock of blockchain
Mm.
feature that will impact BPO.
Actually, Amando, that support your statement a while ago. In my day job, a technology company where I work for, we're actually working about you mentioned about the cross-border solution for the payments, no, for the banking sector. It's not just a use case na inaaral pa lang. I just wanted to
Correct.
share siguro very well na there's already an ongoing na standard na that will be at par with the Swift technology, which is very old already for the cross-border, but it's powered by blockchain. Siguro we can discuss that further sa mga susunod na topic. But yeah, just to let our audience know about it.
Yeah. So for example, touching on BPO changes sa BPO in relation to blockchain and artificial intelligence. Um, so enhance security and trust. For example, blockchain technology has introduced heightened level of security and trust in BPO operations, especially in processes that handle sensitive data like financial transaction and personal information. That is due to blockchain's immutability and transparent nature. So because of blockchain, yun, yung mga data na sensitive, masecure natin sa BPO. Kasi alam naman natin, ripe ngayon ang hacking. And even Israel is hacking good causes charitable organization. So whether the actors are good or bad, hacking is there and blockchain is there to secure our data. So that impacts BPO.
Related to that point, Amando, so what strategies would you recommend to
Mm.
effectively integrate blockchain and Web3 competencies into, let's say, the BPO sector muna?
Oh, so they have to reskill and upscale. They have to una is they have to para walang shock sa system, they have to attend conferences, they have to listen webinars like us to acclimate themselves para meron silang overview on what this emerging technology is all about. And then after attending seminar conferences and webinars like this, then they should start enrolling online training courses para to upscale the human resources of BPOs. Yeah, and not just I know BPOs will be the good topic, but as we know, our government officials because they will be the one implementing, leading the public on the utilization. The Philippines wants to be a hub in technology because as we think na we are an agriculture economy, but our agricultural produce is not enough. In fact, not
Hmm.
enough to supply the need. The rice is not enough. Rice production is not enough. We are still importing rice from other Southeast Asian countries. So agriculture is there, but Philippines wants to catch up in the industry, especially in the manufacturing, especially at BPO. We dominate that already. So an industry that we need to go is for the manufacturing of high-end products such as the chips and manufacturing to catch up with the rest of Southeast Asian countries. Kasi agriculture itself is not enough. We are already importing. So in order for us to generate more income, manufacturing heavy and light equipment is necessary. We did not,
No,
um,
go ahead.
um, yeah, in our development sa Pilipinas, we are a newly industrialized country, but we jump from agriculture to BPO to service sector. Hindi tayo dumaan sa isang transition in where we need to be manufacturing. We jump at that. So we need to catch up on that part. We need to have manufacturing. We need to have service para resilient ang ating economy. Um,
Actually, that's true, no, Amando. The challenge, though, is we don't have enough resources for the manufacturing pagdating sa raw materials, I guess. Kasi like yung manufacturing or in the industries, kailangan niya ng bakal or metal. And we know for a fact that although we have some mining here, we cannot sustain ourselves with in terms of those kinds of materials. We still import it to the countries like from Africa or India.
right. You have a point. Raw resources, excuse me, raw materials, and also the energy supply. So as much as possible, we want to have these heavy industries here in the Philippines. We want manufacturing, but we don't have energy supply. So I think the president and former administration realized this, and we are now moving into a nuclear energy generation. In fact, President Marcos just signed an agreement with the United States that in 2030, 32, I think, we will start generating nuclear power, unless we do this bedrock of consistent energy source. We cannot do manufacturing, especially for heavy industries. Kahit wala tayong iron, we can always import iron, process it into a high-end product and sell it. So that is as a good source. When in fact the trend now is if you have the if you have the source, if you have the source, you don't necessarily just import it as a raw. You process it like Indonesia right now. They have nickel, but Philippines has the most deposit of nickel. Ngayon in Indonesia, they're banning the exportation of their nickel because they want companies all over the world to go to Indonesia and develop their own product based from nickel. The same in the Philippines. Right now, we're still exporting it as a raw material. I hope the government will realize that and stop the importation and then ask companies to go to the Philippines and start manufacturing a high-end product out of nickel like batteries. But how can we do that when we don't have energy, so consistent energy supply? So the energy supply must happen first in order for us to be competitive in heavy and light manufacturing. And
Actually,
then, yeah,
speaking
go
of
ahead.
uh, speaking of energy, we have the most expensive one, probably the world, one of the most expensive.
Yes, that's true. The most expensive sa Pilipinas. It's very expensive in the Philippines, electricity bill. So we have to have that consistent and stable supply of energy before we can, we can move forward on the manufacturing sector. Those heavy manufacturing. Kasi the National Steel Corporation was in Iligan City, close to Maria Cristina, because we generate electricity there. Same with this manufacturing na we're looking to develop in the Philippines, like shipbuilding, I know, motor and automobile nandiyan na sa Pilipinas, but still we need to have consistent and stable, reliable energy source. And lahat of this, the bedrock of this will be run by these emerging technologies. We become more efficient and more productive when we embrace artificial intelligence and all of these emerging technologies will be used to to manufacture goods and services in the future. So there's
Okay.
a lot of transformation that is happening, and educating people is very important to rescale and upscale them. And we're
Well,
pioneers in this.
right. Well said, Amando. So I hope to our viewers you have learned a lot from the insights of Amando. Now I know Amando, you mentioned it earlier, but again, I suppose just to emphasize the importance, since you did mention that the president talked about some economic and technological growth objectives, can you just remind our viewers why is it crucial for the professionals in the Philippines to acquire knowledge in blockchain technology and Web3?
Okay, so they need to acquire knowledge in blockchain technology and Web3 because our government is emphasizing towards that direction that President Marcos and I'm sure the future administration as well is directing towards Philippines as the hub of technology because as you see we cannot rely anymore on traditional agriculture because we ourselves are importing getting rice from other countries because we cannot support ourselves. And this is not innately Philippines. Japan do the same. They cannot produce all of their foods, and some countries as well. So, in order for us to compensate that kakulangan, that weakness, then we have to go to other sector eh, to generate income and livelihood to the people, to our economy. So, in relation to why they need to do this, they need to equip themselves, re-educate themselves so that they will not be uh, out of place, they will not be irrelevant. Kasi in the next 5 years, they will become irrelevant if they don't learn these new skills. They have to certify themselves. They go to training that we offer here in Museigen and Althash University and other platforms online. If they want to pay like $500, they can go. For us, we offer a minimal to no fee at all. So we're doing this because we want to create a footprint in the Philippines and Southeast Asia. We want to become part of the scene in these emerging technologies because we are in the business of doing artificial intelligence. We're in the business of promoting blockchain technology, and we are in fact doing it right now. That's why we're here. We can help people. We are pioneers of this learning. We are pioneers of this field, and we want to share it to our kababayan. And not just for out of goodwill we're doing this, but we have our businesses that will benefit out from these new emerging technologies.
Well said, well said. So, Amando, in case people wanted to know more, let's say, about the offerings of Althash, how can they find out?
Oh, they can go to edu.althash.university and enroll in blockchain studies program, which is a partnership with Museigen and I think Fermin and also James is one of the faculty member teaching very specific and high level courses. So we offer in blockchain studies and we are opening prompt design and engineering, cybersecurity, trading, which is also the specialty of Museigen. Um, Also, we are planning to open um, AI certificate program. So right now we're offering blockchain technology that is currently available. But next year we will be adding more programs. And we want that a lot of people in Southeast Asia, especially Filipinos, will enroll in the course, in the program. So it is a partnership with Musegin and Altas University. So we look forward for Filipinos who would like to rescale and upscale themselves.
Well, thank you very much for that, Amando. And certainly, what we will do is we're going to invite you back. We will have naman a session just specifically on Web3.
Okay.
Web3 and the fourth industrial revolution and how that impacts the BPO sector going forward.
I'm excited.
So again, with that, we'd like on behalf of Museigen and the Resistance Trader, I'd like to
Yep,
thank you,
yep.
Amando, for your time. And we look forward to having you again where we can talk about other advances in the space and how they link back to education and the upscaling of the pertinent industries in the Philippines. Thank you very
My
much.
pleasure.
Thank you,
Thank you so
Amando.
much.
Thank you. We'll
Thank
see
you.
you
All right.
Thank
again.
you, Ferman. Thank you, James.